what we can see right now, we are just building liquidity. Like the whole previous day, we're just building liquidity, kind of LR. So we can just mark out our liquidity points very quickly. Since we are building this liquidity, I would like to see us sweeping it. I'm not sure if we'll take this low, but if we will go lower, it's possible. This is the next one, and right here. And then if we are bullish, the easy target is here. Yeah, we do have multiple targets at the highs. Here, and the last one is right here. All right. So now, if we go a little closer, I think we will do just, you know, from market open, or not market open, just midnight open to next midnight open. Okay, we have RR right here, the next right here. Okay, so from this structure by itself, basically we just rebalance this little structure. So we'll see what market open will bring. Okay. So right now, midnight open, basically nothing crazy. I'll maybe skip a little bit of it. This seems just like pure accumulation.
And if you don't mind correcting, it's not, it's daily open.
Oh, yeah, sorry for that.
Do you mark those?
Not really.
Like new daily open gaps, opening range, all that?
No, I don't care so much about them, to be honest. Those three candles kind of ring a bell for me. Basically, we took the liquidity to the lows, rebalance this little range. Now we came back inside the OT kinda of this range. We are souping the lows right here. Double soup. Oh, I do have wrong settings for it. Okay. So now, if then scenarios, if we want to be bullish or if we are bullish, we need to see closure above this point, above that 1936. If we are bearish, you know, we'll just take the lows and continue lower right now. Also, we're building liquidity right here. So that's another LR. Big candle. Okay, now we are closing above it. So again, if we are bullish, we should go higher right now. So we can enter right now with 2 counts. I just want to check. Okay. Our stop will be the 1944 candle low. Since it should be protected for the time being, we basically soup this previous candle, soup it and expand higher. We can also put it, you know, at the 940-ish candle. Basically, that should be our true protected low. And if we are bullish, we should go back to it. But for now, this should be perfect stop for us. Okay, internal soup at the highs. I do like this candle. Why? We basically closed above that 1938 candle. We created CISD, and then we had little accumulation on the top of it, and we held it perfectly. And now this candle basically just closing above this structure on the left, about this little accumulation. So also we had little turtle soup here. So what we can do right now, since we are in 2 cones, we can add one more, because I really like this. We can add it. And then, since we just turtle soup this low, I would like to put my stop loss in there, but it can be a little prematurely, you know, like we can just took it one more time. So right now I'll just leave it right here, but we shouldn't come back to it, that 1948 candle low. And in terms of targets, the low hanging fruit being the 1908, and then we can possibly take a look on filling this gap right here. Okay, nice strong candle and a confirmation for us. So now I definitely don't want to see us coming back to this low, so I can just put my stop loss to it, or to there. Yes, our stop loss is inside this fair value gap, but in terms of this PA, it doesn't matter so much to me, because I don't want to see us rebalance it. Okay, that's the reason why we should have our stop loss, you know, so the limit orders in there, but yeah, we'll see. Nice candle, internal soup. Basically we just rebalance this little range. I won't be counting this big long wick in that candle. I'll just go from this little structure. So yeah, we rebalanced perfectly. So now I would still like to see us taking the high again and closing strongly above it, if possible. Great candle. Internal highs. We can take one off right here. We can put our stop to break even, or I'd rather put it below this wick. And now, yeah, then now the targets are a little harder, I would say, because I don't know where we can go, you know. Like we have obvious targets right here, but we will probably go just from candle structure by itself. We will just wait for the next manipulation to occur. Kind of retest of the previous highs. I like this candle. Why? Because we just retested the previous high and now we are expanding again from those highs. So if I wouldn't be in any trade, this is the possible trade to take, the possible long. But again, do we want to target these highs? I'm not too sure about it, you know. But what we can do right now in our trade, we can put our stop loss to this candle low. Why? Because again, we should expand right now higher, and not come lower to rebalance it again and do this low again. If we come back lower to take this low, do I see us expanding higher again? Not really. Then I will be looking for possible shorts in that scenario. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Right, I will come back for you candles. It'll possibly... Oh, okay. I'll leave it right here. Right, so what will happen next? Basically, we expand it a little higher, have accumulation, and now those 4 candles or 5 candles does look like possible manipulation for shorts. Hey, Golden.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Hey man.
We are just doing a little backtesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So now, if then scenarios, if this is the manipulation, we should not come back right here. And right now, in terms of our long trade, if this manipulation, you know, we will get stopped out. So now, if we will close below this candle, I will look for possible exit of our trade. Yeah. Okay. And again, we are just building low resistance liquidity right here. We have big dump, and now we just rebalance this move right here. So it makes sense for us to just go lower and possibly take the lows again. Right. Okay, right there. Okay, I'm out. And then now, MSD, do you remember when I told you, like, I put my stop losses, or I'm looking at the points where my trade doesn't make sense anymore, and I tend to enter, you know, the opposite trade?
Mm-hmm.
This is the exact spot. Because if I'm correct, and this is the possible manipulation, we just went lower, we took the liquidity. We did not rebalance to the EQ or anything, we just have little, you know, little push higher, and now we are closing
It's
lower.
like CISD retest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So now I pretty like shorts. Do I expect we'll take the lows? Maybe, because again, we just rebalance this higher range. We just built LR along the way, and now we can't go lower and actually take the low again. So what we can do right now, we'll go short right here. We can put our stop loss to this low, or to this high, sorry. And in terms of TPs, if we take the whole range, from range low to range high, there is our 50% right here. So if I'm correct, the first TP will be this low, and then the last runner will take it either at this low or the midnight low, or, you know, daily open low. Perfect. And again, both examples that we had for now, these examples are examples of true CISD. We created CISD, we retested it, and a run. We did not went inside the range, we did not rebalance it, you know, to the deep OT or anything. These CISDs were true CISDs. Retest, not did retest it. It just retested CISD by itself and went higher. Right now, retest of CISD and we are running. So those are a bit of trades. We are tapping at 50%, so we can take one off right here. We can put our stop loss to break even if we want to. And now we are just wait. we are accumulating. Why are we accumulating? We just rebalance the whole range. So now, if we are bullish, if we are bearish, if we are bullish, you know, we need to close at least above that 854 candle. If you are bearish, we'll close below that 9 p.m. candle and just go lower. Internal soup at that high. If we can close below this range, there is a next possible entries for us right in there. I like the candle by itself. I just don't like that we soup the liquidity right here, because right now this could be like the possible manipulation for rebalance the range right here, from this being the range high to this being the range low. But what we can do right now, we can put our stop loss to this candle high or wick high. Why? Because if you reach that point, we'll probably rebalance the range. So we can do it right now. Okay, small candle. Okay, if you had strong candle right here, there's a next possible entry, because we just created the order block or next CISD. We can put our stop at the candle high right here and just wait. Our next TP, since we are in one contract only, we'll take it off right in here, and then we'll wait for the next possible opportunity. Okay, we'll take it off.
Pitbull,
Yep.
can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
So this is basically this works perfectly with well, basically straight price distribution. But what if we've taken that 50% the CEO of a range, and then we rebalance, so we would have been stopped right at this week, right? Correct? And would you play this rebalance, or you would just wait to see where the price is going and where would be the next entry point to all this?
You are talking
Like,
if we would reach this high and create the next CISD, or
oh, more or less. So where we've taken one contract off, right, and you moved your stop loss. If we did, instead of like going straight to a target, if we rebalanced, because there is no clear manipulation yet, so the draw is still lower, but like we don't always go like straight to 50%. Sometimes
Yep.
ES can take it and we can, you know, leave some. So we don't have like very clear specific targets. So how do you see that price move if, let's say, we would have been stopped out? Would you play this to the upside to a 50% of this range, or just wait to see where the market is going from that point?
I would more likely wait, because if we reach this point, we are already in the 50% of the range. If we would have this high and this being the low, you know. So if we would reach this point, we are already 50%, and then there is more no touch zone for me, and I will just need to wait for something to clear, you know, something clear for me.
Yeah, just confirming.
Yep, absolutely. So now we are taking the liquidity, we are souping the lows. Okay, taking some of this LRLR on the left. Souping the lows again, taking the lows, okay. Okay, now we do have stronger reaction right here. We do have equal lows. So now if we are bullish, I need to see closure above this high. That's minimum that I need to see right now. I will delete this line, and I will delete this line also. So this is the pure minimum. If you are bullish, we need to close above here. If you are bearish, you know, we will take the lows again, and we're going for more liquidity on the left. Okay, we are souping the lows. So now, if we are bullish, per minimum, what we need to see is closure above this high. We took also additional liquidity on the left. We took internals. That's the candle. So if I'm correct, turtle soup, CISD, this is our next entry. Again, we already in the third trade. You don't need to take, you know, the first, the second, or even the third trade. I'm just showing you guys like what PA is telling us. Like right now, if I'm correct, this should be the low for now, and now we can be looking for rebalancing of this range right here. So if I'm correct, this being the swing high, this being the swing low, we should go around the 50%. So I will take the runner off right here at this high, and we will also mark the EQ of the range right here. We'll just put it EQ. Okay, we can delete this. We are retesting the CISD on the left. Nice candle. Right now I would like to see us just, you know, going higher. Retest. Another retest. Confirmation candle right there. For now we are not displacing, we are just kind of, you know, rebalancing this little range. Okay, I would like to see next candle just explode. Why? Because we put this swing high, swing low, another swing high right here, we rebalance it, and now we are closing above it and trying to expand higher. This is being a little too zoomed in, but you know, it's just what's happening right here. The next, yeah, there we go. So now we do have a little bigger CISD on the left, and there is distribution candles. Nice. There's our first TP. We can take one off. We can put our stop loss to break even. We are kind of slowing down, and we are building LR. That's a little sus. Super the highs. Little accumulation. Candle closing below our accumulation, unlike this. This candle is telling me that we are going at least rebalance this range right now. So if we take a look, equal this low to this high, we can expect, you know, to go at least to this gap right here. And we're out. That's big candle. Okay.
What time is it?
9:51 p.m. Interesting.
Oh, it was April. Tariffs and all that.
Tariffs.
Maybe some news. So
could be, yeah.
I hope it's not one of those trending days when we fall like 1,000 points in one day.
I mean, it could be. Since April, you know, we had few of those in April, but yeah. So now, one idea, if this is the manipulation, possible turtle soup and fair swing, since we are not able to take, or not able, we did not take this low for now. So this brings me the idea this might be still fair swing, but we will see. Okay, big candle. And yeah, okay. What can I see right here? We are just building LRR. That's telling me that we are reaching for something. Reaching for something, and then we should go lower again. The only possible way that we are, we'll be looking for any long entries is if we will be able to close above this accumulation on the left. That's the only scenario where I would be looking for longs. Other than that, this looks like a short setup is forming. What I would like in this example right here, more time than not, if you have strong candle closing lower and then this move, I'll do it on line chart. Where is it? Okay, we'll have strong move lower, then we'll staircase higher, the same way that we do have right here. More time than not, we'll come to either EQ or OTE, mostly to OTE. We will have turtle soup inside of it, and then we'll have strong closure below the last structure low. And that's something that I'm looking for right now. So right here, I would like to see us closing strongly below this candle low for me to take short. Okay, not happening right now. Okay, so with this candle closing like it closed below the previous candle low or previous candle open, I would like to see us closing strongly below this 10-11 PM candle, and then I will be looking for possible short entry from there. We are gaining speed right here. That's the candle. That's the candle I'm looking for. We'll take 2. We can put our stop loss to this candle high right here. I can delete this. And we can go. Okay, we are rebalancing this range right now. Three consecutive candles, one big candle like this. It's not looking so good for me. Okay, we soup high one more time. Souping the high, if we take this swing high to this swing high to this swing low, we just have the 50% of the range. So now, if you are not in a trade right now, the next possible entry would be after closing below this candle right here. And if you are feeling spicy and you think that we are going lower, you can add right here at 50% tap. Okay. There's a retest. We close below it, there's a retest. So right now we can add one more, and we can put our stop loss from this high or this candle high right here, or we can do this candle. That's up to you. the low-hanging fruit target, I would like to see us taking this low if we are actually bullish. Oh, bearish, sorry. And then possibly looking for this low. That's a strong candle. But a candle like this, I would like to see us just, you know, just further expansion lower, to be honest.
So you won't take one, at least one con off at the long hanging fruit?
I said I will, so I will take it off, but I would like to see us just flushing right here, to be honest. We need to buy one, so we'll buy, and we'll put our stop loss to break even. To be honest, the best placement for stop loss in this scenario is candle high, so I will leave it there. Because we can just, you know, after this big candle, we can go higher and take it off, but yeah, I'll leave it here for a moment. Those out there is. So yeah, the next. Give me a second, guys. Somebody's calling me. Okay, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. Or give me a second. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we can continue then. So now, with the speed of these candles and basically how, you know, we are going to take this low for sure. Then the question is, you know, how much lower are we going to? Because we do have these targets on here, but we will take it. I'm not sure. Then our next target, so we can take one off right here. We can ask ourselves, is this manipulation? I mean, this looks more like distribution to me, but we will see. We just took the low. If you go lower, you know, if you go higher, we will see. Okay, still closing lower and lower. We're kind of slowing down in here.
Or it might be a setup for a second leg.
It might be. Little accumulation and we are closing below this accumulation. So I mean, would I enter a trade, you know, after we dumped, I don't know how many? Yeah, it's not even 100 points, but it looks it looks way more. But if you want, there is a next entry. I will not take it, but I will move my stop loss to this candle high. Why? Because if we take that, this could be the potential low for now, and we can go and retest the EQ, or you know it. So okay, we'll confirm it, and we can go forward. Nice. We're going lower and lower. I would like to see us sweeping the low one more time. But if you close above, yeah, that might not happen. So right now I'm thinking that this move is potential manipulation, and now since we are closing above that 1044 candle, that this might be a low for now. You know what, I will exit this trade and we'll watch what's going to happen right now. We created CISD. I like this candle. If we'll get the next candle closing strongly above this 1053 candle, I will take a long target in the EQ and then possibly the highs. Small candle. No, that's not it. Also, if you take a look on candle low to candle structure high, we did not tap 50% yet. Kind of starting to like this. Like, if you will get the next candle strongly closing above this, we can take it long. But for now, we are not able to close strongly above it. Like the way how we are just moving, it's telling me like we want to go higher. We're just waiting for the right moment. Okay, I like this one. Accumulation, 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 internal soup. This candle closing strongly above structure on the left. My stop will be this candle low. In terms of targets, we'll take this swing high to this swing low. The first TP is going to be EQ. So let's put a line right here. We'll call it EQ because it is. I will delete this line and I will delete this little range for now. This candle is closing above that 1117 candle, so I would like to see us going higher now. Candles strongly closing below this accumulation, coming back inside the range. We can still just retest the highs of it and then rebounds. Okay, not looking so good right now. The next candle or so we need strong closure above 1121 candle. If not, it will go lower. Right. If you guys remember what I told you right here, this is the same thing, it's just small candles. We kinda had big candles closing lower, kind of staircase going higher, and now we have internal sub at the highs and strong candle closure right here. Since we are in break even right now, I'll take a trade off and I will re-enter if we are going to close above this candle, because right now it just looks like we are not able to displace higher. So in my mind we will take more liquidity, and then possibly if this is manipulation we'll take the highs, or we'll take the highs, we'll go higher. So now I'll just take this off. Okay. And also it seems like it's short. Yeah, it's short. Okay. Yep. I wouldn't be expecting so much from time standpoint. As well, this could be just accumulation. Maybe we'll go retest this little order block on the left, and possibly then run it higher. We'll see. So now we survived basically all the liquidity on the left. We are kind of going into that 50% range, I believe. Yeah, we are like 2 ticks above it. So now, since we are closing above this candle, I would like to see us going higher. The thing is, I don't like the way how we are printing the candles, because this just lowers the liquidity for us. So I will just stay out of it for now. There's EQ. Again, small candles going lower. So now if we want to look for some, long entry, 50%, we are just tapping it. So, but again, these candles are too small. We're closing strongly above that 12:10 a.m. candle. 3 consecutive candles, sub at a high. So now, if that scenarios, if we will close strongly above this candle of 0028, I'm more bullish. If not, and we will close strongly above this 12:25 a.m. candle, I'll be looking for possible shorts to run it lower one more time, because I don't like this liquidity that we leave here, or we left here. Alright. This candle basically just did the job that I wanted to do. I can expect it will go lower. I will be entering on this candle, so we can go a little further. And I don't like how small these candles are, so actually I'll skip probably to, I don't know, 4 AM, let's say. And maybe then we should have a little better price action than this. Because we're basically in the same range for a long time. Okay, so what's going on right now? We are building again liquidity on the lows. This brings me idea that we actually don't want to go higher right now. I would like to see us taking the lows again. The thing is this the high right now, or will it just turn it back again? That's the thing that we are not sure of. I'll delete these lines for now. We don't need them anymore. I want to see if we will take this high to this low. We are just inside the OT of the range. So the example that I showed you guys in here and somewhere in here, this could be, you know, the same thing, just on a bigger scale.
Reaching to something.
Reaching to something, more time than not, it's inside the OTE. Inside the OTE we'll have some turtle soup, which we have right now, and then we can expect some big candles going lower. You know, for example, right here. Small candles taking the lows. Basically, this candle just rebalanced this previous range of this being the high, this being the low. We just rebalance it, and now, if you are bearish, this can be pretty good entry. What we'll wait for, basically, we do have these two candles. I would like to see strong closure below them, and then we can have possible entry from it. Okay, this is a strong candle. I'm not a huge fan of entering right here because liquidity is too close. I mean, we can enter with just one con for purpose of this video. Stop at candle high, and I'll be targeting at least 209 region. Internal sub at the lows. Retesting of the CISD. Okay, right now, if we'll take or close strongly below that 231 candle, we can put our stop loss to this high, if this is a swing point, you know, swing high, and yeah, we'll see. Okay, we're closing below it. Again, where did we retrace to? Basically we took the liquidity and then we went back to the EQ of the range right here. And now again we are closing below this 231 candle, creating another CISD. So actually we can go with 2. We can put our stop loss to this 233 candle. And now I'll be targeting one right here and one on the lows if we go to go that low. Okay, strong candles. Little accumulation. Big candle down. Nice. Alright, we can take one off. Our stop loss is going to that swing of 241. And now the next target, this swing point right here. With the speed of it, I'm more than sure that we'll reach it. If not, that would be pretty bad for me. Alright, we'll get probably stop right here. Alright. So now we are just waiting for the next entry. Again, we don't.
People,
Yep.
question. The point where you entry at the CSD at the line you draw on top there.
You mean this one?
Yeah. Don't you afraid that's gonna be the rebalance of the leg on the left? Because that seems
You mean
like
this one?
EQ or OT. Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Because we came straight up.
But what happened right here? Basically, we rebalance it right here. We're in effect, we rebalance the range of this being the swing high, swing low. We rebalance it, and now we do have a lot of liquidity on the left. And again, it's kind of the same example that I gave you, or I think you weren't here, but I was.
Yeah. I missed the first half.
Yeah, I was telling the others, like, if you have strong candles closing, like for example here, and then we have kind of staircase going higher, you can expect that either in EQ or OT of the range, we'll have turtle soup, and then strong candle closing, more time than not, creating CISD that you can enter from.
Okay, so on that fractal, when we came back to the EQ of that small range on the left, on the right, yeah, if it doesn't displace down, then it would more hyperbole to go higher, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you wouldn't displace through the lows right there, like it wouldn't make sense for me to enter any short position because it's
so there will be rebalance on the leg on the left, and we should go higher on that. Okay, got it.
Because if then after this candle 228, what needs to happen if I'm looking for shorts? We need to close below 226. What needs to happen?
Would make that an OB, right?
CISD, yeah, OB CISD.
Yeah, OB CISD, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, got it.
If we just have that 228 candle, what needs to happen for me to take a long? Like the first thing is at least to flip this candle of 228, and then I would like to see us closing strongly above 217. That's the start. But since we are closing strongly below, we rebalance it, or yeah, we rebalance the range, but we are also retapped that CISD and expand lower. It's showing me that we are going lower, and lower where we do have liquidity here. So yep.
Okay, so theoretically, if it was gonna go higher, then you would need to wait for it to close above the. I can see your time.
So we are right here in the PA.
Yeah. So if it goes higher, then you need to wait for it to close above those three down close candle on the left, right?
Exactly.
But then you would miss the entry because then the entry will be on the low there, isn't it?
I mean, we do, because the true CISD is right here.
Yeah.
So you don't miss anything. Because right now, if you are bullish, the first thing we need to see is actually closure above here. Do we need to take entry from here? Not really, because it's still too early. Yes, we have soup on the lows, but it's not something that DJ is teaching us, In terms of DJ's models and everything, you need to wait for this candle high to be, close above. So, if then scenarios, if you're bullish, we need to see closure above that 217 candle, and if you're bearish, we need to see closure below that 226 candle. And again, from bigger structure, strong candles lower, we are building staircase right here. Staircase, higher, lower. We are going staircase to the somewhere. Where we are right here, we are inside the OTE. What happened inside the OTE? We have turtle soup right here, and we have strong candle closing lower, displacing. These candles also rebalance this range on the left. So we rebalance the range, and now this candle high, or these two candles, rebalance the smaller range right here. Yeah, I know it's confusing, but yeah, it's just how do I see it.
Yeah, I think I got what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, because what happens with these candles right here, if you take the swing low from 136 to 209, we just tapped 50%, and now we are going into the OT of the range. So this range is basically rebalanced.
Yeah.
And now with this candle, we are now inside the OT of this candle high, this candle low. We are inside this OT right now, you know. So this is the rebalance price action and this is the rebalance. So now, if you are bearish, again, we need to see closure below the 226. And if you are bullish, we need to see closure at least above that 217 candle. So now we are inside the range. And again, what DJ is teaching us, if you are inside the range, just wait for, you know, for us to expand out of the range. Right here, retest of the CISD, this is the best entry you can get. And now we are just going lower, lower, lower. And I believe this is where I got stopped. So, looking at this, if then scenarios, if this manipulation, this is total soup, this fair swing, if not, this is just rebalance of this bigger range to take the lows then after it. So we can put our flip tool from the high to the low. And now we are basically tapping the 50% of the range. Not now, not now. This candle is rebalancing this little range right here. Yep, we tap it perfectly on this exact candle. Now we are souping the highs. This candle is closing below the body of this 3 AM candle. This candle is telling me that we are going lower. It's not something that you should take. It's high problem, not really. It's just, you know, we just rebalance the range. If we are going lower, which we should right now, we are going for the lows. So I will enter on this trade. It's not something that you should take, I think. So yeah, we'll take this. My stop is going to the protected high of 301 candle. We are creating CISD right here. So if you missed this entry, this is the next possible one. Retest of the CISD. Retest. Small closure. Internal soup. I don't like this. There is confirmation. The candle already took that swing low that I was looking at, so we can take one off. We can put our stop loss to this candle high. Why I'm placing my stop loss to this 309 candle? Does somebody know it?
Is it the internal total soup on the high?
Yep. Also, we just took the liquidity right here and two consecutive candles. You know, we have small candles, and out of nowhere, big candle. So this tells me that this can be the potential manipulation. And if we'll take this candle high of 309, there is your next CISD for longs. So if we'll reach that point, we took the liquidity, we have possible manipulation, and we would create CISD. So that's the reason my stop is in that spot right there. So we can go forward. Okay, we took the lows right here. So the idea of this being manipulation is out. Okay, is this manipulation? Could be. I'm not sure what liquid is on the left. We took some internals right now. This might as well be like this manipulation. Yeah, okay. just from looking at this, I don't like the wick on it. I will put my stop loss to this candle high, even though I think that will be stopped right in a few candles right here. The thing is, I'm not sure that this is being the manipulation, and what can happen will just take this high, kind of like internal soup, and take the low one more time. Okay, this looks, we are just accumulating right now. Okay, we are stopped. Alright, so we took this internals, we soup it, we are not able to close strongly above it. So what I just said, we'll take the internal highs and then we'll go for lows again. And if you want to play it like that, you know, if you are so convinced in your analysis, like, this is the good entry for you. You will put your stop loss to this candle high and just put your TP to this candle low. I mean, we can do it like right here. It's basically 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Now we're retesting the CISD on the left. Another confirmation, order block. There we go. Okay. And again, if then scenarios, if we are bullish, what needs to happen first? First, we need to close above 356 candle. Why? Because we are now souping the lows, and this would create a CISD right here. If you are bearish, you know, doesn't matter, we need to expand lower and take this 116 low. I'm just laughing because if you go and study the lows that happened in a previous week and or previous month, let's say, if you have two consecutive candles like this, little accumulation souping the lows, and a candle closing like this, it's usually a low. I will stay out of it because it's a little too premature entry, but I'm just calling it right now, this should be the low right here. Big candle closing well at 356, kind of creating CISD. Taking the highs. Okay, so what happened? Basically we took the internal high and now we are going back for maybe for the internal lows again. If not, like, this is the last spot of it where we can reverse here. It's deep OTE. There is nothing else that is holding us. I kind of do like this, like we just went inside the OTE and now we are closing strongly bottom body of this candle. So this brings me the idea like this can be OTE and now we are going for the highs again. We are retesting it. Again, if this is manipulation, this is turtle soup and this is our fair swing. And now since we are closing above this 423 candle, I kind of like it. I will give it a short. I will put my stop loss to this candle low, and it will target. The thing is, right now I'm not sure if we are in the ranging market right now. You know, we will just accumulation right here, or we will just expand higher. So I'll go for low hanging fruit right now, and that should be at least this 411 candle, and then if I'm really bullish, we'll close above it strongly, and then we will, you know, talk about another possible entries. If not, we'll just can take the internal high again and then go again for internal low, you know. So okay, we took internal high. We are closing pretty strongly above it. But I don't like how we are just, you know, printing this liquidity right here. Again, you can put a trend line in here, just it's too steep for me. Retest, retest, going lower. We took internal high in here. And again, this is just another LR. This is another LR. I kinda still think that this could be the manipulation for now. So again, we are in that center of the range. We should not be taking anything right now. We will either need to see strong closure above the highs right here, or below this little possible manipulation that we have right now. So we took internal highs. This is the rebalance, and now we are closing strongly below this accumulation. So this could be the spark of some move, but I'm not sure if we'll take just internals or we are going for the low right here. Okay, so we took the low. And this could be the same situation that happened right here. If you have one strong candle closing or swooping the lows and closing strongly above this little accumulation, that could be the good spot for long entry. Okay, so right now we are creating CISD. I don't like the stacked lows right here, so it's not screaming right now at me, so just wait. Sub at the highs. Right now this starts to look like the same thing that happened right here with the OT stuff, you know. So right now if we put this swing low to the swing high, I would expect that it will just retest this, possibly sub this low again, and then move higher. That's a pretty strong candle, but we will see. now we are creating CISD. Pretty like this. We went a little deeper into the OT, but with this possible manipulation, turtle soup, possible Ferris swing. We can enter right now. We can put our stop loss. The thing is, our stop loss is right now inside the fair value gap. For me, I wouldn't like to see us coming back to rebalance it. But I mean, we are just accumulating right now, so it can happen and it can stop us out right now. If not, the first target, like really the first target should be the highs. Okay, so we do have a little accumulation right now. We retested CISD, internal sub at the highs, candle closing above it. We are still sweeping the highs right now, so that's the confirmation candle and the next CISD. So if I wouldn't be in trade right now, there is the next candle, and your stop is going to be this 533 low. If you want to have like the safest exit, or how did I call it, like carry TP, this is it. We are kind of building LRLR right now. It's not clean, but this 529-ish candle, it's a great spot for, you know, low-hanging fruit. Absolutely. So we can do it. We can take one off right now, and we can put our stop loss at this 548 swing low. Again, it seems like we're reaching for something, so we'll see what's going to happen. This strong candle. I would like to see us just in the next candle or so take the highs. Oh, okay. This candle just rebalanced the range. We're gonna closing like this. I'm not worried about trade right now. Okay, this candle just kind of flipped this 610. We'll see. Internal sub at lows. If we close below this candle, yeah, this means that we'll probably get stopped out right now. Or the next possible scenario, if we take the low and the high, we are now tapping the 50% of the range, so we'll see what's going to happen. So now we rebalanced this range. We rebalanced it, and now we are going a little higher. I would like to see us closing strongly above 615 candle if we are bullish still. If not, you know, we'll just flip this move. But either way, I would like to see 619 candle being protected for now. I wouldn't like to see us coming back to it. So that's mean I can put my stop loss in there and just wait. Okay, and we are out. With this candle, it's kind of telling you like we should go lower for some internals at least. Yeah, we didn't look at it, we created more or less the equal lows right there. Again, closure above this 633 candle would tell me that we are most probably going to close about 625-ish. The thing that I don't like, basically we're just in accumulation from 3 a.m. to basically now. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't be aiming for external highs right now for sure. It's just low hanging fruit game. Internal soup, closing lower. And we just flip that candle. With a move like this, I would expect us right now to just go higher, to be honest. Is it the best trade that we can take? Not really. Absolutely not. Do I think we are going higher? Yes, I do think it. Also, this candle is closing above that 638 candle, creating the overblock. So if you are entering right now, it will look something like this. You will enter right now, put your stop loss to the overblock low or this candle low, and low hanging fruit of this whole thing. To be honest, if I'm correct and it will close above 625, then we are going at least for 606. So I'll put my low hanging fruit right there. Then we can also argue, like, if we take 606, we should take these equal highs right now, or right there, so, but yeah. Again, internal soup, this kind of closing strongly above structure on the left. This looks pretty nice, to be honest. We are not closing yet above it. We closed this candle, created equal highs right here, and I don't think this is 50%, it can be, it's more like 25%. Yep. I like the way how we just flip this candle. Kind of thinking 630-ish. I was thinking like about scaling a little more into this trade, but what I will do, if I'm correct, we'll take these equal highs right here. We'll wait, let's see. We are retesting the CISD on the left. Confirmation candle, big strong candle. Right now we should be, or we are at our first low hanging fruit. It was first in our mind, so take the stop loss and put it to break even. And now we should take the highs, to be honest, right now. Internal soup at the highs. There we go, nice. Okay. Now again, what's the target? If we are going higher, this is the protected high on the left. If you are going much, even higher, then we do have a lot of targets on the left. So we'll see, and we'll wait for the next opportunity. Either on soup at the highs. So again, if then scenarios, if you are bullish, I would like to see closure about that 704 candle, and then possibly, just run it even higher to that protected high of 301. And if you are bearish, I would like to see strong closure below 655, at least for now. the way how this candle closes is telling me that we are going lower to, I would like to say, to 50% of the range at least. We do the internals right now, we rebalance the range. Is this manipulation? I don't think so. I don't see it as manipulation. I would like to see us taking the high one more time. But it's just, you know, we do the internals right now, we are closing strongly below the range. We should go with lower. We are gaining speed. Now we did not close below it. Okay, so nothing yet. Now we close strongly. Okay. So again, would we be entering right now? It's not the best spot, to be honest. If you're not in trade right here, this is not the best spot. Do I think we're going lower? I mean, straight up, straight down. Do I really think we will go just straight up? I don't know. We need to wait. We need to wait for the next dump clear entry. Back. Okay, so we took the swing low on the left. Kind of stupid, so let's see what's going to happen right now. Again, staircase, big candle closing lower. I would like to see us taking the low one more time. There we go. We took it by single point. So now, should we look for shorts right now or not? MSD, that one?
No.
No. Yeah, exactly. Because we just take the external liquidity on the left, and we just took the internal liquidity on the left. So there is no point for me to just look for any shorts right now.
But at the same time, it does not look like a proper manipulation to me.
It does not. But still, we just went basically from... We nearly dropped 200 points, you know, so it would make sense for us to just rebalance, because again, we took external, we took internal. So now, if then scenarios, if I'm correct and we should rebalance it, and or we can ask if we are bullish. The first thing first, we need to close above this 747 or 746, but it's same price, I would say. What I don't like, equal lows right here. It's giving me idea that we will take the low again. But again, we are just thinking in if-then scenarios. If we are bullish, closure above here. If we are bearish, we need to see strong candle closing below everything on here. Would I take the shorts then? Not really. Why? Because again, we took external, and I don't like taking the trades right here, so we'll see. Okay, nothing yet. Small candles. Big candle going through that point. Again, I don't like equal lows right here. But in my mind, we took external, again, we took internal. Strong closure like this. If you take a look on the EQ of the range, be honest, the EQ should be right here. Okay. Yeah, so EQ is basically in the same spot as previous lows. If you will be entering right here, our stop needs to be at 756 low. Is it a premature entry? We would like to see, or I would like to see us build a little more structure in here first. So I will not enter right now, but it's possible. Internal soup, retest of that CISD. So now, if that scenarios, if we would be able to close above that 801, I would enter long, targeting the EQ of the range first, and then possibly the highs. Okay, again, for now we are just retesting the CISD again. And we just again created another equal lows right here. Internal sub at the highs, internal sub at the lows. We are in that center of this little range right now. Oh, sorry. So again, it's the same thing. I need to see strong closure above 801 if you are bullish. If you are bearish, I need to see strong closure below 803. This candle by itself is not closing above the 801. By the way, how we just accumulating right now, we have strong closure above that accumulation. This candle is telling me that we should go higher. I don't know how big the stop it would be right now. 12 points. Again, it's not something that we should take. It's not the best ideal trade that we can take. So I'll stay out right now, but I really like it. We are sweeping the highs. Strong closure above the highs. Okay. What happened right now, basically we just took the internal high right here of that 735 candle. We took that, back a little lower, rebalanced the range, took internal right now, and the same candle is closing above that 819 candle, which I like pretty much. So I would enter a small trade right here, put our stop loss to the candle low, and the target would be the thing is, if you have strong range like this, strong candle closing like this, you need to take on the left, take a look on the left and see where are the lows and where is the point where we can just be rejected from the price. And the first low-hanging fruit should be right here. Or yeah, we can argue like 50% should be the, you know, the first TP, but firstly we need to go through this range, so we'll see. Also, we are coming to that 830 range. Do you have manipulation at 7? Possible. I'm not sold on it. So we definitely don't have manipulation at 730. I don't see it being manipulation. And yeah, so we can just go forward. We're also building LR on the left. creating little CISD. It's not strong closure. But the next candle, or yeah, the next candle also should, yeah, whatever. Alright, so now the next target is EQ of the range. And we hit it perfectly. So now what I'm saying, LR, little staircase again. Would I take any trade right here? No, because we are in that center of the range. So now if we are bullish, I would like to see maybe 1 or 2 candles lower, rebalancing the range and then closing above it. That would be a good sign for us. If we are bearish, I need to see closure below this line right here. So this kind of scenario for longs, if we'll close above that 840 candle, possible entry, with stop below that 843 candle. Not happening. Alright. We are not closing strongly yet above below that. Hey punk. Right, so now we are accumulating. We took internals and now I would like to see us just close finally below that 834 candle and then possibly run some of this liquidity on the left. Nothing yet. Right, there we go. Strong candle closing below this accumulation on the left. What happened before? We rebalanced the range on the left, tapped 50%. Again, internal sub right now, CISD. This looks pretty good for a short. Gonna take 2 right here. The first TP will be 50% of this range, meaning, yeah, I'll target this low right now, right here, and then the second TP or second contract will go off at 748 candle low. These equal lows basically. Our stop loss will be the candle high, and we can wait. Little confirmation of the CISD. There we go. First TP. We can put our stop loss to break even, but you know, with us putting the stop loss right here, is it the best spot? Not really, because we can come back, we can rebalance this range. Again, we would have just retapped that CISD and then flush it again. So the best possible spot for our stop loss is still this candle high. Then it's up to your rules and your risk management. Okay, I kind of like how we swept the internal lows right here and have strong candle closing, but this candle is just telling us that we can go to the 50% of this little range, rebalance it, and then we should go lower. And we are a few minutes before market opens, so it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so now, since we are in front of market open, if done scenarios, if we are bullish and we'll close above this 912 candle, I will close my trade or I will put my stop loss to break even. Why? Because if you close strongly above that 912, I can see us going even higher. If not, and it will close below 916 candle, we are alright, we are going lower, and then we just need to wait for next manipulation. Okay, we are just created equal highs right there. Okay, we are closing strongly over the 912 candle, so I would put my stop loss to break even right now, even though this could be just rebalance of this range and then we can actually run it lower. The thing is, I don't like being, in a trade right now before the market opens. The 927. This structure is telling me like we went higher, rebalanced the bearish range, now we rebalance the bullish range. We are closing a credit CSD right now, internal soup. I can see market open, just rip higher and take these highs on the left. $9.28. I kinda hate 9.25 and 9.28 candle because they do have such volatility inside of them. I don't know why. Maybe you, Punk, maybe you could tell something more about it if you want to.
What's that? What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like, Punk, do you know like why 9.25 and 9.28 candle do have such liquidity inside of them?
I see every day. That's when it. I hate to use the phrase, but I'll just use it because it seems to be the best. It's when like it starts spooling up for the open, if you will. It's almost like its own little macro.
All right, so it's just that, like, just spooling the liquidity.
Every day at 9:25, the volatility starts cracking off.
Yeah.
You start seeing the wicks jump, wicks jump, wicks jumps, wicks jump. Yeah, so it's an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, I was just in here listening. I didn't want to. But what you just said about like, look, if I look to the left, it rebalanced this overall fractal to the left for bullish side. And so we got the OTE here, right? For those that like to see the OTE.
Yes.
And this is one of those examples, whether it works out or not, people go like, why didn't it take the equal lows? I don't understand. And you don't understand because you're not paying attention to these ranges.
Yes, exactly.
I just happened to click on it, saw you guys. This is all what you were saying is almost exactly what I was typing into the chat last night to those other guys.
I know. Yeah.
It's all good. I'm just here to listen, man. I'm learning too, you know.
For sure. I just saw you like I was like, I had this in my mind for a long time, you know, like why is there such liquidity in those two candles, like 9.25 and 9.28? There's almost every single day that we have.
It's almost like the other side of MOC, right? It's almost like market open, market on open type thing. You see it at 7 o'clock too, really, almost every day, because that's the beginning of pre-market for the New York Exchange for actual individual indices. Okay. So you see the same thing happen right at 7 o'clock almost every day too.
Right, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute.
Yeah, thank you, Punk.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So now, with my idea being, okay, we rebalance the bearish range. Now we are rebalancing the bullish range, and the the structure right now is telling us that we should go higher with market open. This is something that or how I'm trading. Like if I have this idea in my mind before market open, I will go low size before market open, and then I will either be happy, and be done in a few minutes, or I will be sad and crying in front of my computer. Those are two scenarios. So I don't know how big this range is. It's 14 candles. I mean, if I'm correct, we can go one contract. We'll put our best stop loss for us is 921 candle, but that's such a big range. If I'm correct, I would like to see us flipping this candle. So we'll confirm this one, and we'll just go for the low-hanging fruit of this candle high. So market opens in the next candle. This candle is creating the CISD right now. So that's kind of confirming my idea of us going higher at market open. There we go. Market opens taking the high on the left at 39. So now we can take this as potential CISD. And now we are just rebalancing it. We are back inside the OT of the bigger range. I kind of don't like how we are not able to expand right. If you're not expanding right after market open, we just took the liquidity. So it tells me like this internal high can be the high for now, and the next move that we can have is basically rebalancing, because if you go and study the market opens, more time than not we'll have, let's say, 3 or 4 candles in the same direction, and then we'll have total soup, and after market open we'll just take it, create CISD, and go in the opposite direction. Again, internal soup right here. This candle is closing below that 932 candle. Yeah, exactly, the Judas swing. So this brings me the idea that if in the next candle or so we will not expand higher, this can be the Judas swing, and then we can go in lower in the market open. Internal soup at the lows. Nothing yet. This candle is big.
So yeah, like for people that were asking, like just so we can have a conversation, that's one of those things you're looking to anticipate, right?
Yes.
Hey, here comes market open. If we get a big move here and then it stalls at EQ of this higher range, I could see it be just a Judas swing, and I could see it flipping. And when you get that big move down right there, you almost were kind of looking for it if you have that narrative framed.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys will, as soon as this down close candle closes, even though it really didn't close through anything, with that narrative in mind, I'm not saying it's going to work out here. I have no idea where you're at, what day you're on, or whatever. But some people would go like, I'm slapping this because that was the Judas, and now that was just a reversal.
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly. Yep.
And people don't like, hey, why did you take that entry? There wasn't a model there. That's one of those narrative models, if you will. It's not really a model. What I haven't liked in any of this stuff, because for me specifically, I want to see turtle soups, and you really haven't gotten any of those for in these little fractals on the 1 minute. So that's why I use other time frames to see what it's doing. But that's just a side note from yesterday. But I just want to chime in, like right there for the guys that are listening, that, hey, that was a Judas swing. That was the market open. It took this high on a higher time frame, let's say the 3 minute. That might very well be a soup. It might be an SMT. Like on ES, you might have an SMT there that actually did do the soup. And then if you anticipated that with the Judas swing right there, that final closure of that big expansion displacement would be an entry for more savvy folks, like maybe even Pitbull, DJ, guys that we know. They'll slap in on that. with the stop right there, because the risk is, I don't know how many points that is, but the risk appears to be relatively small for trying to catch the big expansion move down on the higher time frame. That it looks like it's still printing bearish order flow on the higher time frame here, I'm gonna guess, from that move to the left. So, because what do? It went up and rebalanced that bigger fractal move from the high to the low yet again on a Judas swing. Then we got displacement away from it. It broke through the breaker there. So the breaker there, which is the up close high candle. So that disrespected that bullish PD rate to the left there.
This one?
You see breakers, right?
You mean this price action right here? Like this is a breaker?
No, the next highest, the highest high point right there that we just closed above. That's a breaker. That's a bullish breaker.
Yeah.
So that expansion candle right there just totally disrespected that whole thing. That's kind of your confirmation if you can see those things. Boom. But that doesn't mean it's going to work. But that's how you start, for the guys that are listening, that's how you start framing higher probability trades instead of just waiting for an entry model pattern and then not know where it's going to go. Where now at this point, where would it might go? You see those equal lows down there. And what's beyond that? So now this is the time that people go like, I don't know why I didn't take the equal lows when I took the trade before in pre-market. No. Well, it needed to do this if it's going to go there. So anyway, I don't want to dominate. I just just pointing that out.
Absolutely.
It's all good, man. I'm just going to mute.
Yeah, thank you, Punk.
Yeah.
Alright, so again, if you're taking any trades right here, it's more like Punk said, in terms of anticipation of the move. Because right now we can slap in here that with us expecting they will take the lows, but again, like it will be pretty huge stop loss, I believe. Yeah, like 40 points, it's little too rich for me. I don't know if you are taking micros, you know, it might be okay, but yeah. Also, we are right now in that center of the range. So, should we take it? Not really. I would stay out of it. If I'm not in trade right here. Thank you, that one. Yeah, so again, if I'm not in trade right here at the highs, I will be touching this right here. Why? Because again, we are in the 50% of the range. Strong candle closing. Yeah, I do have recording that one. At least I hope so. Yeah, I do. So now we are closing below this. Again, would I enter right now? No. Why? Because we are taking liquidity. We are taking liquidity, so if I'm not again in trade right here, why would I enter right there? My stop loss would be beneath this high. It doesn't make any sense for me. So again, we need to wait for some dump clear again and again. We took the internals. Yep, exactly, Punk. So now, we took internals. Where we're going to? If we are bearish, 50% of the range, and then possibly taking the lows again. If we are bullish, we need to see closure above that 935, and then possibly we are going higher. But first, we need to go that 50%. Yes.
Are you a Turtle Super? Do you use that as one of your narrative builders?
Like, my main thing is Sup CISD.
Okay, so right. Everything that I typed in the chat, everything that you're saying right. Again, none of the guys that are listening, I don't know where he's at. So I don't have any, I'm not foreshadowing. I have no idea what's happening here. But to reiterate what he's saying, like, hey, why would I enter here? And like I typed in the chat, we're in discount now, so you're not taking shorts, but you can still frame your narrative. So what would you expect? That rebalance to EQ of the fractal that he just drew out, right? Now it's at a SIBI, but on top of all that, I'm still in this position short biased because we didn't soup this fractal. This is what I was getting at in the chat last night. See how that down close candle that made the swing low of the fractal he just drew out? It didn't soup that low. It closed below the previous low. So that's the quote-unquote new CRT range. So I want to see that candle souped before I start really flipping my mind, unless we see a higher time frame change in state. So on this 1 minute, I'm going like, this is just a rebalance to do what? To take out those lows down there. So if I wasn't in an entry based on I'm not going to slap the Judas swing displacement. That's not my model. You're in a position like right now. You're in the SIBI. You're above. You're in premium. If you're still thinking shorts, and in my mind, I want to see that swing low taken of this fractal because it created a new CRT lower. Everything higher than that to the left, the bigger fractal shows we're still in quote unquote bearish order flow, even though we've had these bullish retracements that would have been good for scalping. Where we're at right now, all I would need to see for me, and I'm going down to 15 seconds now to be fair, but if we're on this 1 minute, I would really like to see the correct PO3, so an open high, then low close. But not everybody's actually demanding that. I'm just sharing what I look for. But being in this SIBI right now, rebalanced to premium, that could be an entry right there. Because what did this up close candle do right now? It souped, but it souped the higher swing high, or it souped the fair value gap, right? Right there.
Yep.
So that technically could be a soup. I can't tell if the body closed above that. If it did, then I'd be still waiting.
No,
I'd be looking for something different. It's so close. I would really, for me, would like to. This is when guys ask about like, what do you mean by the PO3? This is when I'm wanting to see an open high, and then close, and then go.
Yeah.
But that's just a nuanced, like an extra little sharpened thing that keeps me from entering paper cut trades, because this could end up, quite literally, this could end up just going sideways for a little while. But it's setting up for bearish for me, based on everything Pitbull's explained and where I jumped into the conversation. You agree?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna mute. I don't want to.
No, you're good.
Show. You do a great job, and you explained it your own way. But there's a couple guys in here I've been talking to on the side, and they're like, "Hey, can you give me an example? This is one of those examples right here."
No, you're good, Punk. Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Sorry.
Yeah. The thing is, right now we are in discount, so basically we are in the best spot for shorts. Also, we, like Punk said, we have this Ferrari gap, so this might as well be the best spot for shorts, and we could go lower. The thing is, with Ferrari gaps, we need to see sensitivity inside of them. Since this is a not a live environment, I don't see how we will react. I will see only the candle closure. So if we'll take a look on the next candle, yeah, we soup the high of the previous candle. We are respecting the Ferrari gap again. If you're entering short right now, enter right here, stop at the high of that candle, because why? We soup the high, we should not go back into that. So if you are taking trade right here, that's 11 point stop loss. That's pretty good for me. So we can enter right here. We can put our stop loss to break even. Oh, sorry, to this 941 high. And again, what's my low-hanging fruit? For sure, Punk. I'm trying to do like 1 to 2 right now, just for sake of the backtesting. If we are correct, what's the low-hanging fruit for us? The low-hanging fruit should be the 937 low, and then we can look on the left and take a look on where is the liquidity sitting, But now there is the range that we are playing in, so we can go with the forward. Beautiful delivery. We are taking the low-hanging fruit for us. We can take one off. And then now we took a liquidity, so we can expect some sort of rebalance. If not, we will just flush again, but with this candle closing like this, souping the low, we can see some potential rebalance. I will put my stop loss to break even for now, even though it's not the best spot. Our stop should be in a place where original idea would be, help me guys, but our original idea would be not in a world. The time is 9:47. Basically, if we'll close about 9:41, I will be more bullish than bearish. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so this is the best spot for us to have our stop loss at, but for pure sake of the video, or for the backtesting, I'll put my stop loss to break even. If we'll get stopped out, we'll get stopped out. I don't care. Okay, we get stopped out. So now, we took the internals, we are not able to close strongly about that 9:41 candle. What's that telling me? I'm still more bearish than bullish. So now, if I'm looking for next possible entry for me, we now have internal soup at a high. I would like to see us closing, creating CISD right here below that 9:47 candle, and that can be our next possible entry for shorts if we are still bearish. If not, strong closure above these highs, and then we are running the highs again. There we go. Internal soup, CISD. I'm in trade right there. Where is our stop loss? By DJ teachings, we do have fair value gap right here. So our stop loss can go at this candle high. You can confirm it. To be honest, I don't have any liquidity on the left right now. I'll need to go to hard time frames, and I don't really want to because I don't know if it would just delete me, or I don't know if it will move me to this day, you know. So I'll just go from manipulation to manipulation at this point. Retest of the CISD. Yeah, for sure. SD works, but yeah, for the SD we can use this range right here. That's true. I kind of stopped using SD since DJ also stopped it, you know, and just focus on the liquidity. But yeah, it makes total sense in this situation to use SD. So again, if you are not in trade, you know, right here, where I was entering, this is the not confirmation, this is the retest of it. So we can scale in, you can enter a trade right here, you know, and you can move from there. I'm kind of thinking, I'll put it at one more. I'll tell you why. Right now, we was in accumulation, now we are escaping the accumulation, and we retested CISD right now. So I would like to see us just run right here. Yeah, yeah. So now, just wait. Great candlelight there, yeah, okay. Beautiful right there. We are in -2, 2.5 region. We can take, I mean, we are pretty heavy in here, so we can take 2 off, and we will have runner. I can put my stop to break even. Again, is it the best spot for our stop loss? Not really. Absolutely not. Our stop loss should be still in the original placement. But again, for sake of this, I'll put it to my break-even spot. And again, then it comes to your rules and your risk management. Like what I'm trying to not teach others, but what I used to do and what I'm doing. After first TP, I'm moving usually my stop loss to break even. Candle like this is telling us that we are going lower. So now, if we want to like trail our stop loss, we can put our stop loss to this point of 10:01. To be honest, we shouldn't come back to it. If you're not in a trade, this is the next best spot for entering any trade right here. You know what? We can scale in right here. We can scale in. We can put our stop loss even in profit. And if it stops us out, yeah, it will. We do not care. Again, is this manipulation? This single candle? No, absolutely not. Swooping the lows. Yep, I'm not sure like what does Truth even trades. I never spoke with him about it. What I'm seeing right now, we are kind of building LR on the highs. So what can happen? We can just print one FU candle to the highs and then run it back. So maybe we'll get stopped out after all.
Well, right, but still, like, you know, where you the up close candle up there where you have that line drawn. I don't know. That's a change of state, right? That started this down close move.
This one? Yep.
Right there. So that's an OB, right? By definition, that's what a change in state is. It's an order block. That's what through it. So we have. So this is and I don't want to confuse people, but so you didn't really know it. For a continuation play, and granted, we're not in discount anymore, unless we're in discount of our premium anymore, rather. But we might be of a larger range, right? Because Truth and those guys, we trade larger ranges.
Yeah.
And are on the small ones. Since you're over there, but you said you didn't know it. So we've got this continuation play right now, right? Big trend down. What happened? Everything you said, right? Like, should I move my stop? Shouldn't I move my stop? It becomes tricky then. But then what we do, we got that little retracement that created a new order block.
Yes.
So when you said, hey, I'm going to move my stop to here now, 100%. And then when you got the displacement through it on the down close, what ended up happening? The very next candle touched that little order block. So that's the order block that got created from a move that originated from another order block. So when the new order block gets tapped, that's a pyramid entry or a chance to take an entry. And this is an entry model. I don't want people to be getting confused, but I was just describing this for Pitbul-SVK. So that would have been you could have entered there catching the trend, the continuation. Those are trades I had a hard time catching before. So a little move like that would help. And absolutely, then he's right. We've created some LR right here in this little mini slowing down move that almost can look like accumulation, but it's not really forming that. But everything above that new order block, that's all high resistance. Why? Because of all those fair value gaps it created along the way, all those SIBIs. So even though it's a down trend, like with a trend line, you still have these fair value gaps.
Yep.
So those are internal range liquidities, if you will. All it has to do is tap into those, and on a smaller even time frame, there probably is an order block in there or something else that's going to hold it up. So like he just said, the definition of high resistance, low resistance. High resistance is what could stop it from continuing in that direction. You know, APD array. What's low resistance? The trend line that doesn't have those, which is kind of what's going on there. Again, exactly. You're dropping so much stuff. I'm just over here going like, and that, and that, because it just happens to me. This chart has all the things that guys have been asking about recently. Anyway, that's that order block out of order block play that he talks about, and it's specifically a trend trade that is not FOMO. Just trying to make that clear. Oh, look at this big move down, and I need to get in. You need to wait for something to show you a reason to get in, not just click the button and chase. Yeah. So that's where that comes from. So anyway, again, I'm scared to go to the side.
No, that's all good. Yeah, that's totally like those are one of my most favorite entries, to be honest. If I just if I'm not in trade somewhere in here, like those trades are usually paying pretty well, to be honest. So yeah, what's happening right now? We're basically tapping the -2, 2.5 region. We are creating like soups in here. So maybe if you look at closure about 10:06, second stage, yeah, yeah. if you get a closure about 1006 candle, maybe we'll go higher to rebalance the range, but that's too soon to talk about it right now. Internal soup. Okay, now what this candle does, basically we rebalancing this little range from 1008 to 1012. We're rebalancing. Wicks do the damage. The important thing is how the body close. The same thing right here, swooping the internal low. The body closure is the most important thing. So if we will get a candle closure about a 1013 candle, then we can talk about, yes, maybe we are going a little higher to rebalance the range, etc. Right now, sub at the highs. Time is 10:15 right now. Okay, so by this candle by itself, we are souping the highs. The candle is closing strongly lower. Yeah, if you take a look on, yeah, we can say that, yeah. Like 10 AM opening lower. This candle by itself, we soup the internals at the highs. The candle body closure or does close inside the 50% of the little range. Does make sense for me to enter in here, not really, but what does make sense for me is to move my stop loss in here to this high, because I don't want to see us getting back in, you know, into that. So we can move our stop loss back right here. There is strong closure. Again, order block, and you are running lower and lower and lower. Okay, since we are in really close to that 3.5, we can take another off right here. And since it is again basically another order block play, I'll put my stop loss to break even. You could put it even here, but I'll put it to break even right now. Internal soup. I would like to see us taking the lows again. Right now we should be at 50% of this range. Yes, exactly. 50%. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Unicorn. Yeah. Unicorn. I just not used to see those, you know, see that thing. Unicorns, breakers. Okay, so now again, if then scenarios, if we will close below that 1023 candle, we are bearish, we are going lower. If we will close above 1026 candle, in other hand, we are going higher and we will take at least 1015 candle for sure. Internal soup. Pretty good. I don't need to see stronger closure in here. Also, we are at 10:30. 10:30 SMR time. We can see some sort of reversal right here. Internal soup right there. Okay, we are out. So now, little accumulation, we are escaping the accumulation. What is the next target for us? 1015. we do have soup, little CISD right there. I'll wait for something more, but we can anticipate already that we will take this candle high of 10.15. Okay, we took it right there. If you want to go higher, 50% of this range needs to be filled. I'll just change it to OT. Okay. In my mind, this move is just straight up. We took liquidity on the left, and now if we'll get closure below the 1039, that's basically your market structure shift. I believe if we go, let's say, to 2 or 3 minutes, this is turtle soup on a bigger time frame. So I wouldn't say I'm bullish yet, because still this can be just liquidity grab, and now we'll go lower. Because again, is this manipulation on the lows? Not really. I don't see that. 1018 can be manipulation. Also, we do have low resistance liquidity in here, and this move is straight up. So that's 3 signs that yeah, we are not done with shorts yet, in my mind. So if I get strong closure, yeah, retracer premium, yep. If I get strong closure below the 1039, I will take a short entry right there. Okay, it's something. It's best spot for shorts, not really, because we are in 50% of the range. But if I'm correct, this high should be, or should stay intact. So I will enter with small position, put my stop loss a little higher, and if I see continuation or a flow continuing our direction, I will scale in. Okay, good candle. Perfect. Trades like this. This is the exact same trade that happened right here. It's just in a smaller case. Basically, this candle swooping the previous candle high, retesting the CISD, retesting the fair value gap, closing lower. Right now, we can enter with one more contract. Yep, and we can put our stop loss to that specific candle high. Why? Because if we will flip that candle, that means that we are respecting the bullish order flow, and we can possibly go higher. Also, if we'll get strong closure below the 1033 candle, that's CISD on the bigger structure. Or higher time frame, let's say. Yep. I don't like the speed of it. We took some internals. Internal soup on that candle. Closing higher. Okay, I pretty like this candle. So now again, if we are bullish, we need to take this high, because this high should be protected for now. If we are bearish, again, we need to see closure below the 1053 candle. We're not closing below. Now we are kind of do. So right now we are kind of in this little range, from this being the high, this being the low. Once we escape this range, price should be much cleaner.
There we go.
Yep, there we go.
I was gonna say this whole time before anything else happened, I was waiting for that low to get taken, right? Because that's what the narrative was saying it was going to be targeting.
Yes,
exactly. This displacing candle now makes it look like it's going to go lower. Yep. If we had just swooped that low, I wanted to like just bring back to that. Hey, the 10 o'clock opened low. So not losing sight of that this could be the end of the move and start anticipating the SMR. And what would you see now at this point? You need to see the soup, you need to see the change in state, confirmation of bullish order flow, and then you would be on the wick of the 4 hour to then run higher.
Yep.
That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but for the guys that are listening, those are the kinds of things that you have in the back of your mind as this stuff is going on. And like for like Dat and a couple other people, I think that they would have gotten wrecked when it did that retracement to EQ before this leg down, because that would have been a 22 market structure shift, right? And it'd have been like, oh, hey, it broke above and then it came back down, so I entered off the fair value gap and it didn't work. How come it didn't work? Everything Pitbull is laying out right now is why it didn't work. But now it's the right time to start thinking about like, hey, we might start seeing the reversal because we're making this open low on the 4 hour. It's the right time that thing could start happening. It doesn't mean it will, but you want to be aware of the things that are potentially coming up. And is order flow narrative showing you that that's going to happen? Because this candle displaced through that low, not yet. Don't give up. Not yet at all. There's nothing saying longs right now. It's just showing lower. And from that, it's kind of cute, right? But from the SD that you drew, what are we at, -4 almost now?
Yeah.
So if you're using that too, that's another one of those things to look at. Like, hey, we're at -4. That doesn't mean there's a relative PD array in the area on a higher time frame, because don't want him to click out of that. But right. So everything he's saying right now is like, it's sauce. But the way he's explaining it versus the way you're hearing me talk about it, we're talking about the same things with a slightly different vernacular, but looking for the same things, anticipating them, and then reacting off of that anticipation, not just waiting for a pattern to show, because quite often when that happens, you've already missed it. It's too late.
Yep.
And then you're guessing, like, what's the target? Oh, I see the entry, but I don't know why it happened or why I might be right or wrong. So everything he's saying right now is like 100. It's all good. I'm just trying to,
for sure,
put a little extra cherry on it.
We do have the same destination, just the path to it is a little different.
Yeah, and even the same explanation to a certain degree. It's just the words that we individually use in our minds to see it for ourselves. Yeah. Cool, man.
Exactly. Okay. So, exactly what Punk just said. We are taking those, we are closing below it. 3 consecutive candles, we are tapping the -3.5, we are taking the internals. This as well could be just the manipulation for make it run a little higher, So we'll definitely take one off right here. And then, does it make sense for me to have my stop loss in this place? Not really, because if this is manipulation, what's going to happen? We'll close and take this 11-12 candle high. So in that point, in that scenarios, my stop loss doesn't need to be right here. It can be right here, at this candle high. Because then I'm not anymore looking for shorts. By that time, I'm looking for long entries. Little turtle soup at the lows. Souping could be interesting. So right now we just rebalance to the OT of the previous range. And now let's see if we'll hold the bullish OT of the range. We are closing lower. Yeah, Punk, exactly. Now, does this look like manipulation? Could be, but we are still respecting bearish order flow. We are still respecting bearish order flow, and the same question I need to ask myself again: does this stop loss placement make sense for me? Not anymore. Why? Because if this is my manipulation, we will take this high. So now I can put my stop loss to here. Also, we do have turtle soup at that high. So if you are still short bias, or if you are still looking for shorts, this high should not be taken. So we can put our stop loss and place it right there. Mind you, we are still closing below the range right here, and still there is possibility that we will go even lower. We do have soup right now at the lows. To be honest, it's the same story again and again and again. You can put your stop loss right now at this candle high. To be honest, I wouldn't be so afraid to enter right there because this doesn't look like manipulation, but we'll see. Big candle going lower and lower and lower. So right now we'll just wait for the next manipulation. We just completed -4, souping the lows right here. Okay, interesting candle. Still closing lower. Okay, closing lower. Do we have manipulation in any of this? I don't think so. What does that mean? We are going lower. Yep, exactly, Punk. That's the reason why you need to ask yourself those if-then scenarios, you know? Because other than that, like, there is nothing else to take. So now, if this manipulation, I don't think so. We soup the lows, we are kind of trying to expand higher, rebalance the range. Again, if then, the first step for longs, at least closure above 1133, but still, is this manipulation? If it is, it's not a clean one. So we are still inside our trade. Damn, that candle by itself is telling you that we are going lower. So if you're not in any trade right here, I wouldn't be so afraid to just enter right here and put your stop loss at the candle high. Why? Because that candle is just closing below everything on the left, and clearly we do not have manipulation for now. Confirmation, candle expanding lower and lower. Pure distribution right here. Insane. Okay, since it was pretty big move, we can take one off. Right here, one off. Again, should I put my stop loss to break even? I definitely can. And there is nothing wrong with me putting my stop loss to break even. Is it ideal though? In this place, our stop loss should be at this candle high, because if we are putting manipulation any of this, the price will tell us that this is manipulation by closing above this 1141 candle. Because if I put my stop loss right here at this candle of 1144, you know, we can just have deeper OT retracement and I will be out. But my idea of the shorts is still intact. Right, so, and again, this is up to you guys, how you are managing your trades, how, you know, you are able to scale in, scale out. It just depends on you. So again, is this manipulation? Well, it could be. We need to see more. also we are coming pretty close to the lunch, and since we are just expanding lower pretty much the whole day, the lunch as well could just bring us back, because lunch is another SMR time. So I'll be just looking at edit macro at 11:45ish, which we are in right now, to 12:15ish. Little accumulation. We are souping the lows. Also, we can put our stop loss right now at this candle high. Why? Because right now we are not able to strongly close below it, and if we will, you know, this could be as well just soups, and then we'll expand higher. So we can right now put it our stop at the candle high of 11:49. We soup this, okay, so we soup internals here, soup internals right here, another soup, right. To be honest, I don't like these shorts anymore. We are near lunch, basically we are in lunch macro right now. We soup the lows 3 times, we are not able to expand right now lower, and we are starting to see bullish order flow coming in. The best thing that can happen for longs right now is just closure above 11:41. That's the start for the longs. But this as well might be the lows for now. I'll close the shorts right here. And we'll just wait. Kind of retesting the CISD on the left. Also, if this is manipulation, we can put again our SDs on. If you're looking just purely on the 1 minute, you can take these 3 candles, but I do believe on 2 minutes or 3 minutes you can take the whole range right here, so we can do it by this candle. Okay, so SD kind of makes sense for us to take the internals here, and yeah, we can go from there. So now we had accumulation, internal sub at the lows, and this candle is escaping the range right here. So we can enter a trade right here. For low hanging fruit, our stop is this swing low. Like, if you would be able to close with that 11:41 candle, that's pretty much only the start for the longs. We definitely can take low hanging fruit there, but I will be more looking at some of these highs on the left, some of this range, so we'll see. Pretty much good confirmation candle for us. BRP. What's the BRP? BRP.
The BPR would be, it's a balanced price range, right? So it's another way of visually just seeing a target. So instead of drawing the range out like 50% or whatever, so scan to the left a little bit on your screen and up. See that the swing low? the swing low that started the retracement. That one right there.
Yep.
About price, that's a BPR because it hasn't gone back to that really. You can make the argument that little fractal to the right did.
You mean this
a little bit to the right. No, right. Keep going right below your change of state. You could make the argument that one rebalanced to the BPR, but that point hasn't been touched since. It's just displaced down below through.
Yeah.
So you could use that swing point. You'll see that potentially on a higher time frame, like a 5-minute or a 15-minute, as a swing low. That could be that's a BPR. That's a balanced price range. So it would be an expectation that if we're long, that it would at least go to that as a target. It's like seeing the swing points as the opposite once you're on the other side of them. Because if we were above that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we were above that, like way higher above that swing low, you'd be going like, hey, there's where liquidity is. It's now flipped. It's these ICT concepts where there's always the other side of it. So what used to be a swing low, it's still a swing low, but to do what at this point in the price range? For price to go back to do what? Balance off the price. Because right now we've created that imbalance from that point low. So not just the range, but that BPR can play into that. That's just a concept. Again, some of these are pretty advanced concepts, but I know that you're with it and can understand and see that. So that's another way of going like, hey, what would be a target here? Like you said, that 15 fractal, that's really just the beginning of the higher time frame displacement for long. So why would I take my trade off there? I'm in the wick of this 4-hour candle. I want to catch it to where the BPR then becomes like the low-hanging fruit.
Yes, and again, I didn't knew it's a BPR, but I see the same example at, I think this. I was in the long
right there,
here.
Same thing.
Yeah, and I was like, I will take my low-hanging fruit out of this because there is nothing much to take, Like we need to take on the left. Like there is.
And then what did it do? So where your cursor is right there, like you just had it, go to the right. What did it top out at on the right on that retracement?
Mm-hmm.
Even further.
Yeah, even here.
Right there. It topped out. So when people are backtesting and stuff, this is like you can use a static chart and go like, okay, why did the swing point happen right here?
Yes.
Why did price stop right here? And then you look to the left and you go like, oh, there's a BPR there. Oh, in that BPR, that's also a breaker, because most of the time BPRs will be a breaker. So you can start going like, if you understand those things, you don't need them. But if you've learned all of that ICT stuff, this is where you can start applying them to build the narrative of like, oh, that's why it stopped there.
Yes.
I can start anticipating that stuff in the future so that when now we're at this point on the chart, what's it going to reach for? Well, I've noticed that it, like Pitbull just said, I've noticed it reacts off of those things before. You called it something else, but you still had the intuition to recognize that it was important.
Yep.
So that's a BPR. And like for me, I'd be in longs right here. Why? Because on that lowest time frame, we created a breaker with that. I don't know where you're at now. I zoomed. So like we souped the low, and then that big up close candle to the left. No, left a little bit.
Okay.
That one right there. That right there is a breaker. Swing low, swing high, lower low. So as soon as the price closed above that, that's a breaker. So I would have entered on that tap right where your yellow line is.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. So, and your stop would be basically below that breaker, or you'd go for a
You can put it below the breaker or 50% of the breaker. It depends on your risk parameters, right?
Yeah.
If it's too big, it could be micros. But like if you're trying to, I'm not trying to catch the bottom here, but the whole time I was going, like earlier I was saying, hey, we're in a 4-hour wick open low right here. We're at the right time. We can start expecting if there's going to be reversal, it's probably going to happen in here. So what do I need to see? Well, on this time frame, if you're trading 1 minute, we got the soup, everything closed back inside, and then we displaced above that last up closed candle right there, which makes it a breaker. Yep. And it created a fair value gap when it did that. And so what happened finally? We got a wick, and then the price came down and tapped that breaker. And then what did it do? Price closed above that down closed candle, which makes that an order block. And while it's still kind of not like super volatile right now, the bullish order blocks are holding right here.
Yep.
As well as the bullish PD array of the breaker inside that fair value gap, which are unicorns. So those are this, and DJ doesn't explain it that way. He just sees it, just like the same way you see a BPR. You just didn't have the nomenclature for it. So that's when you see DJ going like, "Hey, I caught a bottom." That's the framework off of that. It displaced through that, came back down in. He was expecting it based on the time. We got the soup, got a change in state. He slaps in, and then rides it up. And like Pitbull said, he's not. That could be low-hanging fruit where this accumulation is, but really on the 5-minute, probably that's going to be the change in state because all that other action on the 1 minute's just like building blocks. So you're already in the move now. You're in the lowest part of the 4-hour wick right now. So ride that. if you missed it, then what he lined out as the change in state is a place to do it. But you can see everything that we talked about on the way down is starting to happen now for the way up. It's creating an order block. Then it closes above that order block, taps back into it to do what? Run a little bit higher, creates another order block, taps back into it, runs a little bit higher, creates another order block. So this is like this chart, like I put in the chat, is like almost an awesome way of showing how to trade trend because a lot of us are only ever looking for reversals.
Yep.
So this is a great chart. I don't know how you just randomly picked it or whatever, but it's an awesome display of how to do the things that because I typed in the chat, dudes would be getting wrecked all the way down right now, going like, I'm trying to catch this bottom, I'm trying to catch this bottom, and all they're doing is catching the falling now. And now they've lost so many paper cuts, and now they're going like, well, I just reset my evals, and we're going to continue shorter, and now they're going to start taking long on the wrong side. So anyway, I got to take my daughter somewhere. Dude, it's awesome to hear you talk because at the same time, I'm seeing it with the way I'm thinking in my head, but you're saying it with a few different words, but it's the same things, and it just gives confidence. It's awesome. So,
Thank you.
You guys have a great day. I hope I didn't upset your apple cart or cause a distraction.
Not at all.
No. Thank you, Punk, for your input.
Just trying to bring value for everybody, right? Because we're all in this together. It's a journey. Every day you can learn something new.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right on, guys. Have a great day.
Likewise.
Have a good one.
Have a good day. Yep.
Have a good one.
Don, I have a question. When the bullish candle close above the CE, if the breaker, then you enter. It's a more question for Punk because I don't take trades from breakers and all of that. So.
Oh, real quick, I right before I go, what's the question?
If you take a look on the chat, like Don is asking, I have a question. When the bullish candle close above the CE, if the breaker, then you enter. Yep, for Punk, yeah, I thought.
You can. I mean, this becomes like something you would have to. I hate to say go back test yourself because I don't want to be that coy about it. It sort of. It comes down to. Are you a breakout trader or are you a retest trader or are you a combination of those things? So for like change in states, I like to take those as quote breakouts. As soon as it happens and confirms with the closure, I like to take them. In this case, the closure above that up close candle that he shaded out as a potential breaker, it's only a potential breaker until when? Until you get the closure. The closure confirmed that it was a breaker. But you had to wait for that candle to close. So when it closed, another X number of points higher, right? So yeah, all the way at the top up there. So now you're pretty far away. So in this case, I would wait for it to get retapped. When did it get retapped? It got retapped in the 2 candles later, right? With a open, low, high close. But it didn't really blow through the order block that it just printed. And that order block basically souped that candle high that confirmed the breaker. And still, we're in overall bearish order flow at this point. I'm just looking for confirmations for long. So in this specific example, so the candle that confirmed the breaker is the one that's just above the shaded box. Then we get a down close candle that souped it, right? Right, the down close candle, the next one, that one souped it. So that's going like, we just souped that. So I don't like that as an incorrect power of 3 to take a long off of because it was an open, high, low close. So what did the next candle do? The next candle open low into that breaker, high close. I would have probably taken that and made my stop below the fair value gap where the purple dotted line is at the minimum. The purple dotted line would be like the end of the SIBI right there, or the BISI, I'm sorry. If you wanted to take like it off of the breaker, then CE of the breaker, but that could be a too big of a stop for your tastes. And if that's the case, then if you're basing your trades off of dollars or whatever, then you would go like to the next slowest denomination of micros to give yourself, let's say, a $200 trade or whatever that is going to work out to. But then what ended up happening, the next candle opened low, high close, but it didn't really close yet above the order block. The next candle is an open high, low close, but all it did was soup, and we're still side that range. And then what did the next candle do? We got an open, low, high close, but that one, it closed above the order block. If you're following this, because I'm not doing it out, that one would have been the confirmation that we're still bullish. Then you get an open, high, low close, and then you get the open, low, high close that actually tapped the breaker again, swept all of that stuff as a turtle soup, and then came back inside the range. Of all of those candles, if you were patient and waiting, that one that makes that swing low close to the yellow line, that was the absolute best entry, that one right there. Because what did it do? It swept all of that accumulation right there, tapped the breaker inside of the BSI. Now, this is all hindsight, right? Because in the moment, you're not going to know that. But once you got that reaction, you could have been framing in your mind, like, I'm looking for bullish confirmations. That would have been it. And then the next candle closed above that order block, and away you go. You could have taken that next one as a breakout trade off of the order block, but what's the best thing to do? Wait for it to then come, because that's not really a change in state at this point. I mean, I know all order blocks are technically a change in state, but I would say, okay, we closed above that, confirmed that as an order block. Then what did the next candle do? The one with the long wick? That one reached down into that order block, closed above it. That's a trade. Away we go. That one right there. And I'm putting my stop at the low of that candle. And at worst, at the low of the candle that made the protected low. That one there. I hope that answered your question, because the breaker by itself is a PDRA and it's an idea, but I'm looking for these other things along the way. If that candle had been traded, if the breaker had been closed below, that invalidates the breaker. That's disrespect of a bullish order flow. We're still in bearish order flow if that would have been the case. ICT talks about consequent encroachment of those things, which is basically 50% of that candle. And why is that? Because the breaker made a range. And if anything comes out of this, like Pitbull, I think, is saying it, because I hear him saying it, and I've been saying to guys in the chat, everything's a range. And knowing what the high and the low of that range is, and what the consequent encroachment or EQ of said range is, and what price does when it reacts off of that. Pitbull said it earlier. He wanted to see a reaction. I've heard other guys say it's the hot stove thing. As soon as it hits that level that I've identified, I want to see an immediate reaction, like I touched the stove. Like, oh, that hurt. Boom. I want to see it move. I don't want to see it meander around. I don't want to see it like dance there. I want to see it react off of a level that I've identified, quote unquote, as a key level within the narrative. That was kind of long-winded. It's not for me always a cut and dry. I'm putting it at 50% of the breaker. I would like, if at all possible, to put it below the breaker, but this particular one is so big. CE would have been the one that would have been something to look at for sure. But then I gave you all the other context there behind it. You have a BSI in there with that breaker that makes it a unicorn. So below the BSI is really where that purple dotted line is, or even a little bit lower, because below the open of the down close right there, that's a reasonable stop. And then as price continued to print there, it gave you reasons to put your stop in other places to protect your downside risk. Is that good?
More than good.
Okay, cool, man. I got to take my little girl to her little dance thing. So you guys have a great day.
Likewise, man. Thank you. All right, so let's continue. So now again, we're looking for the closure about 1141 candle. That should be only the start for the longs. If that's going to happen, we should be pretty good. We tap it. Internal sub at the highs. I don't like this candle by this candle alone, we should go for these internals right here. Okay, the way how we just flip this candle, if we close below, like, yeah, we should be taking these lows right here. Basically my stop loss should be tapped into. Alright, so now are we bullish or bearish? Right now we are in dead center of the range. So now we just took internals. What can happen right now if we will close again above these highs or that high of the 12.25 candle? I would re-enter longs. Why? Because then we have soup, fair swing, manipulation, turtle soup, fair swing, and then by this kind of closure above this point, that should be our spark for a bigger move, for the longs that we were looking for. Right now we are just rebalancing the range right here. From this being the swing low to this being the swing high, I can even put a fib right here from the swing low to the swing high. You know, we are just inside the EQ right now. So by this itself, we are not able to tell if we are going to take this low again or are we going to take this high again, blah blah blah. We need to see more. Internal soup. I don't believe this is unicorn for you BRB guys. So now internal soup right here, we soup the low again. Now we are creating CISD. I'll re-enter. Our stop needs to go at this kind of low. It's pretty big one, but still. Yeah, makes sense, Punk, yeah. Yep. Okay, so now, again, what's the low-hanging fruit? We can take our fib, or, yeah, our fib, we can put our SD right here. To be honest, I will be looking for these highs on the left. Basically, yeah, like Punk said, BRP right here, you know, this should be our first target if you're looking for longs. And it's kind of aligned with that -4. Sure, we can basically put our little range from this swing high to this swing low. And we can take the safe partial right here. It is also about these stack lows or stack highs, and it should be the safe partial, to be honest. Okay, we kind of get it right there. We are retesting the CISD, also we are rebalancing the range right here from this being the swing low to this being the swing high. We just tapped the 50%. So if I'm correct, this is the best spot for entry if you're not already in the trade. Also, think that we can do, once we get a closure above the 12.33 candle, which we should get, we can put our stop loss right below that 12.34 candle. Another retest candle closure above it, we can just reduce our risk. We reduce it by the half, just by this move, and understanding that we should not go lower. So now we can take scared partial. This should be just beginning of the move, but yeah, we're in 2 cones, we can take 1 and just wait for the next manipulation. pretty big candle, but still, this can be just a rebalance. I'll delete a few of these things so it will be cleaner for us. Also, we just rebalance this range. The candles. I kind of don't like how we just closing below that 1235 candle. It makes me think like this was just a rebalance for shorts, and now we will continue lower and possibly take the lows again. Okay, you know what? We'll take this trade off. And now we'll wait for something. If this is CISD, this is the retest of it. So if you are thinking that we are short bias and we're going for the lows again, which we could, it's also possible to redrive. LR. I mean, short doesn't look bad at all right now. Yep, I'll stay out, we'll see. Okay, we are creating the bigger CISD, and right now, does it make sense for us to just go lower right now to just take it all back? Not really. What can happen right now is we took the internals, we can rebalance the range a little bit, maybe to the 50%, which could be, where it should be, yeah, it's this candle. So I can see that happening, and then possibly we can go lower again, because it doesn't make sense for me to just go lower and then take it back higher again. It will be strange. We are so close to it. If it will just reverse, like, I will be surprised, to be honest. I didn't saw it. There's order block in here. And I believe we will take the low. We tap the order block right here. We rebalance, or we retested CISD on a bigger time frame. If you are entering from here, how big is the stop? It's pretty huge. I'll take one con right here. I'll put my stop loss to the high of the candle. And then that would mean that this is, or this could be our manipulation for lower, which that would be pretty huge, to be honest. But we'll see. I'll take this on low. Okay. Confirmation candle. We are kind of again expanding out of the range. So this should be a bigger move. We're kind of slowing down, but again, is this manipulation? I don't think so. If you are bullish, what needs to happen? We need to close above 101 candle, 1 p.m. candle basically. So until that happens, I'm still bearish until the manipulation will occur, which this is not manipulation, any of this. We can also put fib from this swing high, to this swing low. That's 50%. I'll just change it to OTE. Okay. We are tapping to 50%. Bam. EQ of the range. Not random at all. Okay, so this looks like that we are yet again in another range right here. Once we escape this range, price bit or should get much cleaner. I would like to see the next candle to just close lower. Also, every candle by itself is a range by itself, and we just now rebalanced to the OT of this little candle. I don't want to just... yeah. Oh, that's being like too zoomed in, but it just what happened. Like this candle by itself is a range by itself, and we just now tapped OT of it. And if you are bullish, I would like to see a candle closure below the range right here. Yep, this should be the spark of the move. So if you are not in any trade, we can take the trade here. Why? Because we do not have any manipulation. And since we are in trade right here, we can add one more, and I will put my stop loss to this candle week high, because if we'll go back there, this could as well be the manipulation. So now again, if then, can this move be manipulation? Yes, it can be manipulation, but if you are bullish, we need to see closure above that 141 candle. If you are bearish, we will close below it and continue lower and lower. Closing below. Again, do we have manipulation in any of this? I don't think so. I mean, you can as well just throw those stop loss, you know, and put it to those swing highs, or yeah, swing highs, and like, I mean, already we are up a significant price, so we are creating equal lows right here, and again, we are just building that LR right here. We do have stack highs, so once we have manipulation, this is low hanging fruit. Like these highs are low hanging fruit for me. Either on a sub at the highs. Two PM by itself open lower. The thing is right here, I would like to see us closing above that 207 candle. Because if that happens, we are basically escaping the order block. And then we might as well go for those highs again right now. Basically something like this could happen again, like we'll close above it, either run straight to it, or we'll just close above it, retest it, take the highs, and then run it back lower. Because I don't see any manipulation here. Yes, we can argue like this move being manipulation or higher time frame, maybe, possibly. But still, I don't like the equal lows right here, and yeah. Once we close above this high, I will just take one off and put my stop loss break even. Okay. Take one off. Oh, right. I mean, I'll put the break even and those 4 candles were just retesting that order block on the left, and now this is the confirmation for higher. So if you're in a long in here, the low hanging fruit should be those stacked highs. Since I'm not in long, we'll just wait and maybe we'll get an opportunity, maybe not. Now, if then scenarios, I would like to see closure above here for entry for long. Hey Vicky. Now the way how we're just going lower, slowly grinding lower, souping the lows. If we'll get candle closure above 222 candle, that's possible entry. Right. Also, if you take the ranges, this should be yeah, it's nearly 50% of it. Retest the order block. Now we are creating the CISD again. I'm not sure how. The stop was 20 points and we are going for, yeah, pretty much 1-to-1. So this is the trade. We are retesting the CISD. Retesting the CISD again, closing above that 219 candle. Confirmation. We took the highs, we took the internals. Now we are kind of just building LR again at the lows, and we do have straight move higher. So we can go a little further. The thing is, for now, we are just accumulating. That's okay. The thing is, once we get strong closure above these highs, the long should be good. But then the next target is this 101, and then possibly highs on the left. If we are short or short buys, or if we want to short play out, we need to see closure build at 226 candle right now. I want to see like we are escaping the range, so that could mean that we are going higher, but this candle is kind of just telling otherwise. I thank you for being here, and I hope you took something from this session. Alright, so now we are just kind of retesting the CISD for shorts. We are in dead center of the range, so right now it's more like no touch zone for me, to be honest. I just want to wait and see where we are going. Yeah, we should go for lows right here. We do internals, CISD, we should go for lows. Soup. Internal subs right here. I would like to see the next candle or so just go lower. Right. $5.30 for you, man. Crazy. Yeah, that one. Go sleep, bro. I'll go also. Like for me, it's midnight already. Nearly 1. I'll just finish 3 more candles and go. Also, like, yeah. Because right now we basically just what happened right here? We rebalanced the small range. Those 3 candles rebalancing the bullish range, and this candle is telling you that we should go higher. If you're entering at a candle like this, you need to see strong distribution right away, because your stop right here would be big. It would be big. But now, since we are not able to close strongly below these lows, we just do internals. Again, rebalance the shorts, rebalance the longs, strong candle closing above everything on the left, basically creating CISD and all of that beautiness. Yeah, we should go higher right now. The thing is, yeah, your stop loss is huge. It's just huge. Now we are in OT, or the bearish range. I would still like to see strong closure above everything on here. There's also 3 drive-ish on the lows. Rebalance, kind of closing higher. You can put our stop loss to here. Retesting order block. That one I can try to message DJ if he'll post it on the Whoop, or I can send you my YouTube channel where I will post it. I'll message DJ and we'll see. But it's pretty long, like right now the session, or in the cord we are for nearly 5 hours, you know, and I'm recording like I think 3 of it. Yeah, 3 hours I'm just recording, so.
Oh man, this is so far, well, probably the best of your sessions. At least the most detailed one. So I greatly appreciate that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
this one's the worst one I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, it will definitely take some time to get my head kind of over all of this information, especially with punk rock editions.
Yeah, I was just, again, we are just in MMC. I'll just see how it goes and I'll end it because I'm I'm exhausted from this, guys. Yeah, 4 hours is a long time. Right now we are escaping the range. So what does this tell us? It tells us that we should go higher. How much higher? I would like to see at least this high. So now, if we are not in any trade, you certainly should not be taking this trade right here. It was just like me clicking buttons, you know, and just going from rebalancing of the ranges. This is the prime entry for you. Entry right there, stop loss to this swing low. Why? Because if we'll go back to that swing low, this might as well be another liquidity soup or liquidity grab of the highs, and again going lower. So we'll put our stop loss right here. It should be also protected since we soup the lows. And I don't know, MMC is from what, 330-ish or 340-ish? I'm not sure. Good delivery. We did not do it. Okay, we'll just wait. Scary candles, but still, we are respecting the highs on the left for now, and we just rebalance the range. From this low to this high, we are now inside the OTE. Internal soup at the lows. Internal soup and closing above it. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll take one off. Our stop loss now can go. The best spot is this swing low at 329. We can put it to break even. We don't care anymore. You're running this kind of, we might as well take this high, to be honest. Insane. Alright. And that was the last trade. Oh, we ran pretty, yeah.
Damn, it's still going.
Alright, boss. That would be all.